So I remember Easton in the days of being a small child and couldn't sleep. So we would either ride him around in the vehicle to get him to go to sleep. Sometimes you get back, he'd wake back up. So I would lay sit in the recliner with him and let him lay on my chest and hear my heartbeat, and he would just settle out and sleep. But that meant I usually spent the night in the recliner with him, because if we got up, then we had to do the process all over again.
I don't know, he's just always been full of personality. He can get along with anybody. He's got young friends, old friends. He's just kind of a social butterfly. Nothing really bothered him. He is who he is. He's always been that way.
Easton Howell, you talk about him, he's the kind of player you want to coach. You know, he's was never going to be the most athletic or the biggest or the fastest or strongest, but he was like that missile you send in there just to make a play.
He did this thing when he was little. He always would say, "I'm a cowboy, baby." And that was like his thing for so long. I don't even know, nobody knows where it originated from. And we actually took a picture of him with a cowboy hat on one time when he was like 2, saying it, but that was his thing. Probably whenever he was little and he was going through his little cowboy phase, and we would vacation to like Flint Creek, and he was going through his little like roundup cowboy phase with the hat and the boots, swim trunks. He was a lot of fun then, but I think it's because I was young too, so you're kind of growing up together, you know?
And he was just a different kid. He was always into stuff. So nothing ever scared him. And he didn't like snakes. Still to this day, he don't like snakes. But nothing, man, you know, he was always constantly having to tell him to get out of that, you know, put that down, you know, quit doing just kid stuff. But man, I tell you, he was really fearless when he was young.
He was very determined, and he was a different kind of child, and he was real active, but he was not a heathen. He liked to be mechanically with his hands building. He always wanted to be involved in anything that was going on, whether it be playing a game, a building project, a mechanicking project, or just a part of whatever was going on. He just always wanted to be in the center of it. I've got pictures of him when he was still in a diaper with blue jeans stretched over it, standing there holding a tape measure while I'm screwing some boards to the wall, you know, ready to hand me the next thing. And he just come up that way, hanging out with me and doing that all his life.
Easton is an old soul. And I think Easton's always acted a little older than he was. Now, he's still immature and can make some immature decisions, but he's always kind of gravitated towards the older people and wanting to, he was born with a work ethic. I mean, he goes fishing with 60-year-old men by himself and has been since he was like 12, just because that's what he wants to do. You know, he just hits it off with these people. So I think he's kind of always just been like a little man since he was like a little kid. I feel like he's the son my dad never had, because there was 3 girls, and then Easton came along, and Olivia was so young whenever she had him, so they were around the house a lot. Me and Lisa babysat, so he was at the house a lot. I don't know, I feel like they've always been like really, really close.
First thing when I think of Easton was all heart. He never quit. The first time I met him, I guess it was U8 or U10. He came out on the field. He's a lot like my little Nathan. He only weighed like maybe 40 pounds, but he was fast. He was fast, and he was all heart. He never quit. Was just a real go-getter, and the other teammates loved him. He was great. But I remember him, he had, to be as small as he was, he had the biggest heart out on the field. He loved it. And most kids that age, loved just kicking the ball, but he was interested in scoring a goal. That's what I remember about him. And he'd go up against the biggest guy. You'd put him up there on a wing or put him in the midfield, and you couldn't stop him from going toward that goal. He was a little feisty fella.
I seen that he would get competitive, because he would even get competitive with me on work projects, and tell me sometimes, Papa, you don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, kid, how's this gonna go over? So, but that just progressed as when he got into soccer is when I really seen the competitive side, to the point where I was like, is this still Easton? He kind of get fiery out there on that field.
Easton has a really big heart. And I think sometimes, I even forget that myself sometimes. That sounds terrible as a mom, I guess. But he's so wide open all the time, and he just is very honest. You never have to worry about what Easton is thinking, because he just puts it out there. You get what you get. He is what he is, not changing for nobody. And sometimes he comes across kind of rough, but he really does care about people. I remember growing up, he'll kill me for this. Growing up, when his pets would die and stuff, it would literally tear him to pieces. Or my grandmother just recently passed, and it really bothered him. How was everybody else coping? Is everybody okay? Do I need to come do something?
I'm really proud of him, of how he's turned out, how he's held himself in sports, how he, he's very respectful, even though sometimes he doesn't want to be, of coaches or of teachers. When I introduce him to someone, he's very respectful. He's very genuine, I think, in his heart about all of that. And that makes me really proud. He's turned out to be a good little man. And so I would probably say that more than anything. I think he just genuinely cares about people.
Well, when I first met Easton, he was a bright-eyed little boy, and I've watched him grow through the years. He loves to scare people. He loves to laugh, but he also loves to fish. He likes to hunt with his papa, but he also likes to spend time with his grandma, and I love spending time with him. He's an outstanding young man. I've watched him grow up. I've seen him work with his papa. He's a hardworking boy, and he has a good future ahead of him.
I feel like Easton has worked super, super hard his entire high school career with football, and sometimes I don't feel like he got the recognition and acknowledgement that he should have. And he sometimes felt like other people got put in front of him that shouldn't have, had that time or whatever. So I feel like there was a time in his high school career where he wanted to give up and contemplated whether he wanted to keep doing it. He wanted to do it, but he just kind of felt defeated. So we all encouraged him that if he wanted to keep doing it, to keep pushing it, it eventually would pay off. And I feel like his senior year, they finally put him where he needed to be.
There was times to where he got really intimidated with things, and he's like, do I quit? Do I keep going? I'm like, look, son, this is your life. You do what you want to do, but you're going to finish the year out. You're not going to quit in the middle of the year. But man, I'm so glad he didn't, because his senior year, man, he really shined.
So I was his fullback coach, and I know he's undersized, clearly undersized. So one of the first days we were talking, I said, look, man, if you're going to play this position, you got to be a little crazy. So from then on out, every now and then, maybe right before the game, I'd say, hey man, what do you got to be? He's like, a little bit crazy. And we just had a little thing that we'd always say, and he was. He'd get everything he had, even though he was undersized. And he wore people out, he really did.
There's several plays that sticks out, but one play, and he was not running the ball, he was blocking, and I'll never forget it, and I got it on video. They was playing Picayune, which, Picayune was ranked up there pretty high. And the tailback he'd been out hurt and didn't think he was going to get to play, and they was struggling, and they put him in. And when they put him in, I seen Easton come through. They handed him the ball. Easton comes through the line, and their decent defensive backs is back there. And I mean, I seen one Easton hit him so hard it just drove him straight back. First thing that hit was the back of his head when he hit the ground, and the other one that was on this side, Gage Reeves, hit him, opened the hole, and touchdown bound. You know, it was a touchdown scored there, and I'll never forget that. Even though Easton wasn't running the ball, that was a play.
Yeah, so it was the last game of the season. They had a terrible season their senior year. You know, and you can't blame everything on the coaches. You know, as players, coaches, everybody fails at times. But the last 3 drives of his very last game as a senior was all first downs. And, you know, he come off the field and he's like, well, they had their JV team in, you know, and I'm like, who cares? You know, you still rock and roll. So that's something that you get to live with. You know, the last 3 ball carries of your senior year, there was all first downs. You know, he got the first touchdown of the season for the Rebels. You know, so those things really stuck out to me. They probably don't mean much to him, but you know, as a father, you're happy to see your son succeed in those type things.
I did pretty good until I didn't cry. I thought I was in the clear. And at the very end, we were some of the last people walking off, and I turned and saw the field, and there was nobody on it. That was it. Easton, I'm so proud of you and the man you're becoming. You've been such a hard worker all your life, and you deserve everything and more throughout your future. I hope you have many blessings to come. I love you.
Easton, you were the first to ever make me an aunt, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of you and how far you have come. I've enjoyed watching you grow and learn and even make mistakes along the way, and I know that there will be more to come, but I hope you know that I'll always love and support you no matter what. I'm always here for you, and always keep God and family first, and I can't wait to see what your future holds for you. I love you.
The little man that you were and the man you have become just make me so proud. I think you're gonna go so far in life. God is on your side. Nanny prays for you every single day that you will be successful, that you will love the Lord, that you will walk in His ways, that you will marry a beautiful woman one day and you will have a family that you are responsible for and can take care of. And I know you're going to be a wonderful husband and father one day, hopefully later than sooner. But just know that you are so loved and cared about. And even though we don't have that really tight bond now, maybe like when you were little, the heart is still there. I still love you. I'm here for you. I love you, Easton. Nanny loves you more than you know. And I'm so very proud of you. Can't wait to see what the future holds and what God has in store for you.
Easton, I just want you to know how very proud I am of you. I've loved you from the moment we met. I've enjoyed all the years and the times that we've spent together. But I just want you to know what a special young man that you are to me. But I also want you to know that you're very special to God. And God has a plan for your life. He loves you more than anybody. And I just want you to know, or I want you to always trust in Him and turn to Him for anything you have in life. And He'll direct your path. Your grandma loves you.
It's kind of different. Yeah, I know you don't normally see me do this, but I just want to tell you thank you for from where you brought me. You made me a dad at a young age. And I'm thankful for that. I know we've not always seen eye to eye. But at the end of the day, I always love you. And I'm always behind you, and I've told you that all your life. Even if you're wrong, I'm still behind you. You've showed determination. You showed the want to through life this far. You're a heck of a young man. Your work ethic is through the roof. You know, people talk about it all the time. I just want you to know that I am very proud of you, what you've become and who you're going to become. And I'll always be there for you. I love you.
Easton, I just want to say that we're very proud of you. And we're thankful to have had 18 years to watch you grow and to help you up when you fell down and to watch you succeed and to watch you become the man that you're starting to become. We're excited to see the next chapter of your life as you've started your college career and as you're going into the workforce. We're excited to see what the next parts of life bring for you and your future family. We just want you to know that we love you very much and we couldn't have asked for a better song.
All right, well, I guess Easton by now is going to know that everybody's been up here telling Easton stories and Easton jokes, good and bad, and that's why we were here. So I just really want you to know how proud I am of you. I know you got a bright future. Don't ever forget where you come from, your background, the goods and the bads, the right and the wrong. Learn from your mistakes. It's been a good, long ride for 18 years. You're moving into the real world. Everybody's rooting for you, and we know you can be successful. There'll be hard times. When there's hard times, turn to God. Count on your family to back you up and push through it, because there'll always be a better, brighter day. And we love you. Papa will always be here for you.